Hi friends, we all know the main engine cylinder liner lubrication is a crucial element in terms of the efficiency and the life expectancy of the main engine. In short, cylinder lubrication plays a key role in the overall performance of a main engine. The main functions of cylinder lubrication includes lubricity, cooling, scrap metal removal and protection against corrosion. As I had already described in my previous video naming ME engine control systems about how the MPCs of the ECU and CCU take care of the cylinder lubrication. In this video, I'll describe the step-by-step procedures to overhaul a cylinder lubricator. Friends, I've tried my best to make the video very clear and simple so that you can easily overhaul a cylinder lubricator during any troubleshoot. So guys, let's get started. Before dismantling the cylinder lubricator, make sure you have the complete genuine overhaul kit from MAN B&W, compatible to the lubricator model. Friends, before proceeding with the job, follow all the safety precautions detailed in the manual. The hydraulic pressure has to be relieved and drop down to 0. For this, close the valve position 560 located below the HCU. Mount a pressure gauge at the Mimis point 565 and confirm pressure is 0. Disconnect all the 6 pipes connecting the lubricator non-return valve to the lubricating quills. Then disconnect the electrical cable connections from the level sensor and unscrew the 4 Allen screws securing the lubricator to the hydraulic cylinder unit. Once all the screws are removed, pull out the lubricator from the hydraulic cylinder block. Take the lubricator to the workshop and clean the face, contacting the hydraulic cylinder block with kerosene. Guys, these are the cylinder oil inlet, cylinder oil outlet, hydraulic oil in and hydraulic oil out passages. Place the lubricator on a bench vise. Make markings on the pipe flange and the lubricator block. Loosen the adjusting screw with the bushings. Unscrew the 4 screws securing the cover flange and pull out the cover flange. Discard the O-rings between the cover flange and the lubricator block. Friends, there are non-return valves installed on each cylinder oil outlet lines from the lubricator. The purpose is to maintain the back pressure and to prevent the exhaust gases making their way into the lubricator in case the NRVs on the lubricating quills gets inoperational. Screw out these 6 non-return valves. Remove and discard all the 6 O-rings located inside these non-return valves. Then remove the adjusting screw along with the bushings. Mount the extractor tool on the cylinder block. Remove the 4 screws from the block. Pull out the cylinder block. The block includes the spring discs, the springs, and the actuator piston along with the plunger, which are operated by the hydraulic oil. Unscrew the solenoid valve and discard the O-rings. Remove the cover of the terminal box and disconnect the electrical wires for the feedback sensor. Unscrew the feedback sensor and remove the O-rings. Guys, now it's time to replace all the seal rings, O-rings and gaskets from the overall kit. Renew the O-ring on the feedback sensor. Install new O-rings on the cylinder block flange and 6 non-return valves. Always coat the new O-rings with little grease to keep the O-rings in place during mounting. Always renew the sealing rings on the actuator piston and O-ring located at the base of the cylinder block. Remove and discard the old sealing ring on the actuator piston. Friends, a special tool is used to fix the new sealing ring onto the piston. Slide the cone onto the actuator piston so that only the lowermost groove is exposed. Place a new sealing ring on the cone and using a pushing tool, slide the sealing ring to the lowermost groove. Then remove both the tools. Further, using a special compressor tool, compress the sealing ring such that it goes back into its original form into the groove. Confirm the sealing is seated satisfactorily. Always apply a thin layer of grease on the new sealing rings and O-rings. Ensure the plungers are free to rotate and there is no any sort of obstruction to the movement of the 6 plungers. Friends, this part is very important. The quantity of cylinder oil being discharged for every stroke of the cylinder block plungers is decided by the length of the bushings on the adjusting screw. So always check the length and thickness of the bushing before installation. The length and thickness of the bushing is embossed on the lubricator block itself, mentioned as piston. Here you can see the thickness is 3.5 mm and the length is 14 mm. Discard the O-rings on the adjusting screw and fix a new one. Remove the old gasket around the feedback sensor. Guys, now it's time to box back the lubricator. Check the initial markings made on the flange and mount the cylinder block assembly onto the cylinder housing. Mount the 4 screws and tighten the block to the housing. Unscrew the special tool out. Fix back the 6 non-return valves onto the cylinder block. Make sure the new O-rings fitted on the NRVs are in place. Tighten the NRV valves. Once all the 6 non-return valves are tightened, it's time to put back the cylinder block flange. Make sure the 6 O-rings are in place. Fit the flange onto the cylinder block. Secure the cylinder block flange with 4 Allen bolts. Mount the adjusting screw fitted with new O-ring and the distance bushing. Tighten the adjusting screw. Friends, diagonally tighten the 4 Allen bolts such that the cylinder flange is seated properly on the block. Next, fit back the feedback sensor fitted with the new O-ring into the lubricator block. Mount a new gasket and pass on the cable of the feedback sensor into the terminal box. Secure the terminal box with 4 screws. Next, fit the solenoid valve on the lubricator block. Friends, during each overhaul, replace the solenoid valve with new genuine spare. Ensure the 4 O-rings are in place. Secure the solenoid valve with 4 Allen screws. Friends, the cylinder lubricator is now ready to be installed on the hydraulic cylinder unit. Thoroughly clean the mating faces of the hydraulic cylinder unit and the lubricator. Ensure the cylinder oil inlet-outlet holes and hydraulic oil inlet-outlet holes are clear of any obstacles. Renew the O-rings for these inlet-outlet passages. Always coat the new O-rings with a little grease to keep the O-rings in place during mounting of the lubricator. Now mount the lubricator on the hydraulic cylinder unit. Friends, make use of a spanner to keep the lubricator lifted at one end. This will help you to install the lubricator easily in its place. Once in place, secure the lubricator with 4 Allen screws. Diagonally tighten the 4 Allen screws. Mount back the cylinder oil supply pipes connecting the lubricator to the lubricating coils. Once all the mountings are fitted back, connect the feedback sensor and the cylinder oil level sensor cable connections into the terminal box. Once all the connections are done, open the valve number 560 for the hydraulic oil supply from the hydraulic cylinder unit. Then open the valve for cylinder lubricating oil supply. Execute all the conditions for main engine to be on the standby mode and check the functionality of the lubricator by pressing the pre-lube option on the MOP screen. Confirm the feedback sensor is operating satisfactory. The blinking of red light on the solenoid valve indicates the lubricator is operating in order. Friends, please note, in case of any fault on a cylinder lubricator, it is possible to change the defective lubricator on a running engine with a spare one. The replacement should be done within 15 minutes of time span. So before replacement, ensure to reduce the engine RPM to below 40% of MCR RPM. So always keep a spare lubricator as standby for the emergency use. Guys, hope this video has cleared your doubts related to the overhaul of a cylinder lubricator on a 6S60 MEC 8.2 main engine. If at all you find the video informative, please do hit the like button and share among your friends so that we all engineers can work together to maintain our engines in the finest condition. Also, don't forget to watch my upcoming video on how to run a ME engine in case of the failure of a CCU of a unit. Thank you for watching the video. Wish you all safe seas and healthy stay on board. Thank you.